Hello and welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with friends, get your game goodness each and every Monday. My name's Zon Blight, and joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, John, excited to be here and excited to tell you Xbox is not your friend.
I never thought they were. Also here, Karen Marchant.
To be here about 40 minutes ago.
Hey, you were.
I was.
Yeah, and so was Ash. I wasn't. All right, this week on the show, we're going to talk about Xbox, Nintendo, and ask Kieran the big question. Has he caved and brought Hades or not?
You asked me that right now?
Yes, I am.
No.
Have you really?
I started playing Hades 1.
You just didn't give in.
No, I didn't give in. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to properly play and finish Hades 1 before I look at Hades 2. Hades 2 could be the reward of doing the 10 runs of Hades 1. So I started fresh. Hades.
You started You're never doing that.
No,
There's no way.
No, I will. I believe.
No, I think it's much easier to complete once you've
once you understand the game and you like on my first run, I got through to like the third area.
Yeah, I remember when I played it for the first time on PlayStation, it's like zoom through a lot of it. Because it's like, you know, the fundamentals, and like, even though you know which perks are best to upgrade and that kind of stuff, you know, not so much trial and error.
Ask me next week again. Maybe I'll have it, but you know, who knows?
So I have. It's fun.
The character's hot enough.
Characters are hot
They got
enough.
hotter. I saw Aphrodite's artwork. I was like, fuck, okay, you guys are really pandering to the Kumas with this.
I know. I feel like a lot of people. I just saw a tweet saying people were trying to fix it.
What?
Aphrodite.
No, I don't need to fix anything.
Not hot enough. Not feminine enough.
What?
The game's great. The art's great. Character artwork's great. No complaints. I've only played like an hour, but I mean, look, it's. Hey, did you like Hades? Yeah, I did. Do you want some more of that with some improvements and different characters? Yeah. Here you go. And all of that's meant in a full positive. But I mean, you literally just like, you know, you start the game. It's very similar to Hades 1 where you just start, you know, on a run, similar to the first game, and you just set off, and obviously you're going to die, and then you come back, and you know, you're sort of piecing together the story between the deaths and stuff, but it's all fuck Kronos fuck Kronos is all you know. You go talk to all the characters in the little home base, and every you can press a little button to each one, and they'll say like death to Kronos as their little mantra. Not sure what Kronos did, but apparently fucked over my family. I don't know if Dad's dead. I don't know if that's the...
Well, do you know the Kronos is obviously the father of Hades?
Oh, yeah.
He's the father of the big three. He's the father of Poseidon, Zeus, and Hades.
Yeah.
So
he's come back. Okay.
And then Zeus chopped him up into little pieces.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if the implication is that he's killed
everybody. Zagreus?
Yeah. Zagreus and his wife.
Have you been paying attention to the game, or?
Well, no, they talk about it like they're missing or dead, but I haven't. I've yet to see any clarification of which way. And I could probably Google search it, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I want to learn on my own terms.
No, that's why it's still early access. They haven't decided yet.
Yeah, they're like, actually, maybe they're dead. Maybe they're not dead. You know. So all I know is Mummy and Daddy aren't here.
Do you know who Mummy and Daddy are?
Yeah, Zagreus and they say the wife's name, but I can't remember, or the partner's name, but I can't remember. As I said, I played like an hour. I haven't taken notes. You know what I mean? But I mean, there's an intriguing thing. It's intriguing. It's a very similar setup, I guess, to the first game, in which it's a well, actually, yes and no, because it's a character that wants to get to kill someone, right, and escape from an area, but they're trying to get back into Hades. They're trying to like get back into their family home, so they're like going.
So it's like the opposite. Yeah,
it's the opposite. You're going the other way, which is interesting. But then also,
so it gets easier as you go.
I don't know. I haven't managed to beat the first.
It starts really difficult in the first zone, and then as each layer you go down, it gets easier.
Wait, you haven't finished the first boss yet? How much have you played?
Only like an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, everything else that you'd sort of know and love is similar. You know, obviously the gods give you boons. You pick a door. Doors have symbols, tell you what's going to be behind them. You get your little builds. Some of the currencies have changed, but like, you know, similar sort of stuff. There's a type of currency that's used to unlock like stuff in your base, which is done for a cauldron. There's, I think, cloth. I think it's like straight up just cloth, which is used to unlock permanent upgrades, similar to, I guess, the mirror stuff, dark matter stuff that you would do in the first game. I've only used one weapon so far. I haven't invested any money to unlock to buy a second one yet, but you still got multiple weapons. You still got a training skeleton. I can't remember if it's the same skeleton from the first game or not. I can't remember what the skeleton in the first game was called. So.
Skelly.
No, I don't think it's Skelly. Well, no, I believe you're right, but I don't think the one in the second game is called Skelly. So I don't think that's quite right. But it plays really good on my Asus ROG, which is where I've played it entirely. Obviously, that's the
entire hour.
Yeah, the entire hour has just been on the ROG. So, and it's a really good game for that. Obviously, playing it in bed like that. Music's really good. Slight tweaks on tracks from the first game, I guess, but a couple that sound pretty similar but slightly different. But yeah, I'm keen to play more. That's, as I said, I've only played an hour, but I think I'll end up playing a few more hours and then doing something similar to what I did with the first game, which is be like, all right, that's enough for me for now, and then stop. And then if I read a couple months from now, they're like, major update, I'll dip back in and go, what's here? And then put it down for another 6 months and whatever. Like I only ever dipped my toe into the water between major updates for the original Hades until version 1.0. So I am wondering though if this one will have to be in early access as long, considering a lot of the
content seems to be there.
Like,
it seems like this one's going to be in it shorter, just because most of the games there.
I think it would be either by the end of this year or within 12 months.
Yeah, so they say in the like on the main menu, if you like read the like roadmap or whatever, it says they have hopes to enter full release by the end of the year.
Can we get that game of the year or this year? Well, there's not much competition.
It could be. I mean, it's wild that I swear the first game was in early access for I don't know.
It was like 12 months, right?
I feel like a bit longer than that, surely. Like
yeah.
18 months, I feel, if I was to say close to 18 months. Yeah. So, but it's really cool. It's how wild was it the other day when it dropped?
Almost
I feel like almost 2 years. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Was everyone else's Twitter timeline the same as mine, which is just everyone like when it dropped, everyone was just talking about it on their like social media. Like everyone was just diving into it. I saw everyone fucking tweeting that they're like, all right, that's it. My day's over. I mean, that Prince of Persia game literally is delayed its release because of Hades.
Makes sense.
Like, they weren't even lying. They were like, nah, actually,
we don't need to.
They're like, we're just going to move it. Like, hold on, where's the tweet? I have it here somewhere. The Evil Empire Studio that's making it, they did a yellow background text post thing that always leads to the delays, of course. But it's like, so it's been a bit of a crazy week for us. It all started when a little game called Hades 2 released. You might have heard of it. It's like, and they're like, nah, we're done. We're moving on. So on your restart, Kieran, how far did you get? How many beats did you get on?
I'd done 5 runs. I think I played for like 40 hours originally.
And you restarted. That's insane.
Well, I was just like, I want to fully experience the story again for Hades 2. And here I am.
Fair. I honestly feel like it's been so long since I played it. I can't even think of any good tips anymore.
Don't get hit.
Yeah. Just don't get hit. Just I think it's. I don't know. I can't remember them.
By the time I finished it,
I've
I was
just got
playing
up
it
to the
like a
point
fucking.
of the aspects of each of the weapons, and I can't remember it changing the appearance of the weapons as much as it did. But maybe I just didn't focus it. But they look really
cool.
I can't remember it changing the. Maybe it does. I don't know.
But the last time I played it, I looked at my last save file was like 2021, so it's been 3 years. So.
Well, I think by the time I got down to those last few runs to get the proper ending or whatever, I remember just playing it like I knew the game like the back of my hand. I swear, I was just like, all the bosses right up into Hades was like.
Well, it's like it's like
right up into fucking Zeus. Sorry.
It's like if I get Meg, I'm like I know I've got Meg covered in the early boss fight because I remember her attack routines. I've one shot the snake the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's only until when I've got to the third area was when I was like, oh, I remember these guys being a struggle the first time I played, and it's because the game it's not Asphodel.
The Minotaur and what's his face?
Dude,
yeah, like you're not even getting to him, but just like the mobs in that area are just. I think it's like the game makes them purposely harder than everything else, just to help stretch out the progress and everything for it. You do a lot less damage to them. They're a lot more annoying to deal with. Yeah.
Fair.
I've got all the weapons. Like literally, I started playing last night, and I've already this morning unlocked all the weapons. I was literally this morning almost killing Perseus and everything. I killed the Minotaur. I just needed to kill him, and I just dropped the ball. But yeah,
fair.
It's good. It's good. It's a great game.
Yes. All right. Let's get into some news then. So, before getting into the shitbox that is Xbox, let's talk about Nintendo. So, Nintendo has press start rights. Nintendo has just released its financial earnings for the report fiscal year ending March 2024. Alongside this message from its president, Shuntaro Furukawa, has confirmed that Nintendo Direct Showcase is happening in June, which will show off the company's games lineup for the rest of 2024. While we don't have a date or time for the Direct just yet, we already do have one piece of confirmed information. It won't feature the announcement of the successor to Switch. Furukawa has finally acknowledged that the company has new hardware to announce soon, though promising it won't happen with this physical year, which ends March 2025. So when do we think? If the June Direct is presumably the last, big hurrah for Switch, right? This is the last proper year for the Switch, and of course they'll still support it for a few more years while the Switch successor's out, obviously. But if they do this June, when do you reckon we actually get a Switch 2 announcement, proper showcase, and then when do you reckon it releases?
I reckon around the end of the year is when it announces, or like October, November time, and then it releases March next year.
March before the end of the financial year.
Yeah.
So before March, yeah.
Yes, correct.
Ash?
Yeah, I think similar. Announced towards. Well, yeah, I don't know. We always assumed the Switch would be releasing towards the end of the year, I guess, or. Oh no, I guess we talked about the original Switch released around March, April, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and hit the same similar target time, because then you will hopefully have built up enough stock to like sell at Christmas time as well. So, yeah, I think Kieran's probably got it about right. That also gives you enough time to announce all these games that you're going to have for the last year of the Switch leading up to Christmas. So probably like a bunch of Zelda ports and Mario ports and Donkey Kong ports and all this other stuff.
So I was just looking the timeline. So October 20th is when the Nintendo Switch was officially announced. Like it's a event direct thing they did was October 20th, 2016, and then the console did release on March 3rd, 2017. So 4 months between announcement and release, roughly, which could still work out. So, and Nintendo do love sticking, like they have a pretty long record of just doing similarly themed directs and showcases at like the same months and then just following a schedule that way. So, I mean, I'll go with that. October. Let's go October. You know? Actually, let's go September and get it at PAX. There you go.
Please.
Make a dream. I make a dream, right? Why are you shaking your head? Make a dream.
Never gonna happen.
Why not?
Just have demo versions at PAX for media to play.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Why not?
I
You
don't
say
think-
that, but why the fuck was it at RTX ever? Why was that the first place it was shown?
Hideo Kojima.
No.
Don't think. But really, why was it?
Kojima was not related to the Switch at all.
Like it was the first place in Australia, but that was not the first place in the world, was it? I doubt.
Probably.
Like I
think
doubt that anybody at Nintendo is being like, let's. I
I think it was, and if it was, it's very early. Because here's the thing: announced October. What American cons happened after late year? None.
Thing is, I think they announced before the Game Awards.
They don't have an on-fall thing at the Game Awards.
No, they don't. But I think they announced before the Game Awards so that they can put stuff on the Game Awards.
They don't do anything at Game Awards anymore. Nintendo. What was the last thing they announced at Game Awards?
Tears of the Kingdom?
Sorry, your face
Yeah.
as you said, Tears of the Kingdom?
Like they announced Tears
Didn't announce it last year.
They announced Tears of the Kingdom at the Game Awards.
What do you reckon one last game for the Nintendo Switch should be? Like one last big game.
One last ride. WarioWare.
One last hurrah.
WarioWare.
We just released one of those, but
Yeah,
sure.
go again.
Put out a new
No.
WarioWare.
No, you know what they should do? No. Let's write it out, right? Let's write it out, right? Nintendo Switch finally gets its own Mario Kart. And then they just bring out a deluxe edition for the new one. So it repeats the life cycle of the last Mario Kart.
You know what? That's possible. Sounds silly,
I know. It's something ridiculous that Nintendo would do.
but very possible. Yeah. What do you reckon, Ash? Last
Like I said, it was just to be a bunch of ports. The rest of the Metro Prime trilogy.
Finally get we finally get Wind Waker.
Yep. The Wolf one. Twilight Princess.
Twilight
that's it.
Princess.
The Wolf one.
Yeah, finally
Yeah.
get Twilight Princess. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So then they can port them all again onto the new one. Let's go.
Yeah.
So now that Nintendo's with the next console, Nintendo's what? Catching up with the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, or are they up to PS4 and Xbox One now?
They're running their own race.
In terms of what things they're going to capture from. Do we finally get the trophies or the achievements or whatever you want to call it? Nintendo?
No, the infrastructure's too far.
Do they
far
finally
gone.
fix their infrastructure in general and just make the whole system a lot better? You know?
No.
Well, I think so. The common thing that all reports point to, and I guess if a lot of people stuff adds up, I think the one thing that can be sure of is that it's still got Joy-Cons. Apparently they're gonna be like magnetically disconnected or some shit now. Not sliding off and on rails. And it's gonna be using NVIDIA chips or some shit, so I can use like DLSSR to help with the resolution and frame rates and stuff. And apparently it's an 8-inch screen, I think. LCD.
It's an LCD. It's not an OLED.
No, they'll release OLED eventually, but it's not gonna launch as an OLED.
Why not? Why go backwards?
Well, it's cheaper. No one does that. It's cheaper. Yeah.
No one does it because nobody else releases consoles with a screen anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, like no other brands like they put out the Steam Deck and it's successful. Then they put out the Steam Deck OLED. You know.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You know, like no one ever jumps that far down the.
Just jump that far. Do it, Nintendo. Yeah. Cowards.
Cowards, indeed. All right, talking about cowards, let's talk about Xbox. So, I mean, I don't feel like we need to like. I don't really need to run it. Like, let's break it up this way. You got Microsoft announced that it closed Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, and fuck, I can't. What was the other 2 studios' names? They were the 2 major ones off the top of my head.
2 other support studios, pretty much.
2 other support studios, yeah. But they were the 2 major studios. Fuck, I'll find it while I do it. But how? I mean, how have you felt about it this week, Ash? Like, there's been a lot of talk.
I mean, it's just a pretty stupid move, right? Like, pretty gross capitalistic move. With not really much rhyme or reason behind it. The only rational reason I can think why these 2 studios actually got the cut is because they're the last 2 studios to release a game, and it's going to be 5 years before they produce something new. You know, it's like, oh, they're not going to produce anything. They're the teams that are not going to produce anything for us the most in the next X amount of years. They're the ones that unfortunately are going to get cut. That is the only rational reason why. You know? Because no other messaging they have made or said about why they've made these cuts makes any sense.
Well, the reason given by Matt Booty in an email to Xbox Game Studio staff was, quote unquote, reprioritization of titles and resources. Whatever
That's
the
just
fuck that
bullshit
means.
corporate speak. Just bullshit corporate speak. There is no defense of this decision other than it's just blatant cuss-cutting with no forethought in any regard. Yeah. How can you have a team that made the most critically acclaimed Xbox game in the last decade get cut?
I don't think it was the most critically acclaimed Xbox game in the last decade.
What would you say was then?
It's definitely their most acclaimed game of the last 5 years.
5 years, 100%, right? In the what?
Okay, of this decade.
Of this decade, yes. In the last 10 years, fuck no.
Award-winning, Game Award-winning Hi-Fi Rush. Well done. Fuck off.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm going to start
put that shit on other consoles and fuck off.
Well, yeah. Right. Let's starting off. This is the first decision Xbox has made that I can't understand. That I'm just like, or at least like their communication after the fact has been so goddamn awful in general that it just makes no sense and is completely contrived. And it's like, okay, there has to be other reasons why all this has happened. I do think Hi-Fi Rush was not the success that I think a lot of people are making it out to be.
It's not the success that Xbox made it out to be?
No. But I think
when they said it's exceeded all their expectations.
Ash, let me finish my point, please. Thank you very much. I don't think. Yes, Xbox are partial to blame with this, but everybody who's getting pissed off, especially about Hi-Fi Rush at the moment, I don't think Hi-Fi Rush was the yes, it was beloved by critics. It was backed by everybody probably in our communities. All the people that are vocal about the game right now back the game. But as we know, people who are vocal about this are in the minority and not the majority of...
Here's my one question for this, though. Who the fuck, when this game was greenlit, no one expected this game to make
Nobody expects it, right? Nobody expects it. So this is where I'm going with this, where nobody expects it to do big or do well or to go massive, whatever. Obviously, their attempt at PlayStation, at releasing it on PlayStation, was kind of maybe their last-ditch effort in their eyes or somebody's eyes to save the studio, maybe.
Nah.
And it didn't happen. I will say, I can understand for Arcane why it's happened. Because Redfall was a flop. A fucking gigantic flop. Which, may not have been the studio's own fault, but was kind of what Xbox had rested itself upon during a period of time in the last 24 months, and it went out in a shambles. And then before that, it was Prey, and Prey wasn't a big game. Prey was beloved, and everybody looked back at it, but Prey is treated like a cult classic, where its cult following loved Prey, but it wasn't a big game. It didn't do numbers. Yes, Microsoft fucked up, and Microsoft have screwed up, and this is the first time, and Ashley will probably celebrate hearing this. This is the first time I'm questioning Game Pass. It's like, okay, Game Pass can't be that good then, right? Like, Game Pass can't be... That is the model you have sold Game Pass on, is Game Pass should be making games like Hi-Fi Rush possible and achievable. Obviously, it's not. Sure. But I think this is an epidemic that is a problem with the gaming community and the gaming industry across the board, not Microsoft. Yes, at the moment, Microsoft have probably made it worse to purchase up all these studios and whatever. Do we honestly think these studios would have survived and would be doing better off if Microsoft had never purchased them?
Yes. Do I think Bethesda games would be better off if Microsoft hadn't bought them?
Bethesda games. This is just this is what 1, 2, 3 studios from them.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Under the umbrella of Bethesda, I think they would be better off than under the Microsoft.
Why?
Because I just think Bethesda had a better culture than Microsoft and weren't looking at the base bottom line on every single decision. Honestly, the only reason that these things got cut is because, as the graph that's been shown with Sarah Bond in that one interview, the growth of Game Pass numbers has not gone up. It's dropped after an unprecedented rise after the pandemic or during the pandemic. And because they can't grow from those unprecedented numbers, they're making cuts to try and keep shareholders happy.
But then we've also seen over the last 12 to 24 months, studios are closing everywhere. We're consistently getting closed. Not by Microsoft, not just by Microsoft, even independent studios, even self-published studios. I mean,
self-published studios die all the time, unfortunately.
They do, right? But it is... I don't think in the current industry there is a healthy position for games like Hi-Fi Rush and for studios like these.
Here's the problem: other than the actual indie ones you mentioned, all the rest are closing for the same reason, which is just to keep shareholders happy. And this is a problem when business and art clash. That's the problem. So they're closing all these studios to keep their shareholders happy and get their stock prices to rise. You cannot run a industry that is driven on creative arts and creative people when decisions are to be led by stockholders. They don't like, and even when they're saying stuff like that, and Sarah Bond's video, her quite some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard someone say. That fucking
the best non-answer that I've ever.
The best non-answer, and everyone's like, Sarah Bond's so good. Fuck off. What a twat answer, to be honest. Like, what an absolute corporate ass-licking answer I've ever heard. What one of the best corporate ass-licking answers I've heard recently. But she's like they say all that, and then she says something about like, oh, you know, we just want to reinvest in like, you know, new ideas or whatever. You know, like it's like, well, no, you don't.
No,
they
those
do.
two teams
They do, but
wanted to give you new ideas, and you closed the studios.
I think they want new ideas as long as it makes them money.
Yeah.
Like
well,
yeah, and the new ideas can't make money because it takes them 5 years to make them.
or it's like, you know, like if like Hi-Fi Rush going on the PlayStation didn't have a mass amount of people flocking to go and buy it.
I don't think that was ever going to make enough money for them to...
No, but the thing is, I think if PlayStation had seen that... Not PlayStation. If Xbox had seen a high buy rate on PlayStation, I think it would have swayed it a little bit more. Because it could be like, okay, there is space here. From the get-go next time, we'll just release it on PlayStation as well as Xbox.
Hmm.
And I think that'll just turn into what the model is for Xbox. It'll be, we're releasing it everywhere. It's just going to be free on Game Pass.
I think the other thing that really annoys me about this is just the way it like plays out with the shutting of the studios. Like, because Microsoft owns all the IP now, right? So they own the Evil Within, they own Prey, they own like every Hi-Fi Rush.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo, sure. They can make sequels to any of these games, like, you know, a couple of years, 10 years down the track if they want, with a completely different studio, and they can do whatever they want. All these studios, Tango Gameworks, which was a name known to people, Arcane Austin, a name known to people, gone. You know, like this is one of those annoying times where it's like, it's sort of, I'm like, I don't know. Try and sell them first. I don't know. Like, it's just annoying that like all these big games that they've like helped elevate, you know what I mean? But the copyright, they don't own them anymore. So it's just gone. And it always sucks to see. I think that's why it was such a good happy story when Remedy got Alan Wake back. You know, like so they could do it, because like Microsoft owned that. They couldn't make another one or whatever. It was so dumb, but it was like one of their biggest games, and they couldn't even make a sequel to it and stuff like that, you know. So it's always like these times where I'm like, I know looking at it now, you may be like, yeah, but they're not going to make any more sequels to it. It's like, they probably will though. Like, it'll be 10 years from now, and you're getting an announcement of fucking Prey, whatever, or even 2 years from now, and they're making another Prey. And you're like, none of the team are involved. Oh yeah, remember when you shut down the studio that actually made that game like a couple of years ago? Cool story, you know. That's the other part that I think sucks.
I know. The other thing that irks me about this situation is that Xbox has been trying to push, obviously, all their Japanese. It's like, we really love Japanese games and Japanese studios. And then they have one Japanese studio and they close that one. You know?
Yeah, like this is the thing, right? Is like there's a lot of communication that just makes no sense. Like, it is that, or there's the tweet about, we want more small studios with the potential to win awards and that kind of thing. And you go, well, what the fuck? Like, Tango was that for you, right? Like, to me, my biggest issue with Tango being closed, I don't have and like, for realist terms, I don't have as much of an issue with Arcane Austin, and I can't remember who was the third studio again. It's
yeah, it was a bunch of indie studios. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, they're not listening to the other small support studios. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like I think for me, like, I understand Arcane Austin being shut, because you look at it. I do wish that
from a rationale of when you see all these other studios across the industries getting cut, Arcane Austin releasing Redfall, and you're like, okay, I understand in comparison to everybody else. But they did have a pretty good pedigree with Prey and also as a support studio prior to Leon on the Dishonored games.
But I think they look at it and yes, like it sucks that they are apparently working on a major update for Redfall. I'd like to know if there's also some like behind the scenes stuff happening at these studios that's causing this. Like I know, not Tango, but like was it Tango's like the founder of Tango or the director of Tango left? I think recently, like one of the leading
they might have
it left as well. Like I'd be interested to see if there was something more in like the I guess the management core or the foundations of the companies that led Microsoft to do it. I just think Microsoft could have. I think there was a way to do this that wouldn't have been as bad of fumbling the bag or fumbling completely with it as Microsoft has with this whole fiasco.
Yeah, they could have not done it.
Well, not even even if they had to do it, there's a better way to communicate it. There's a better way to explain it. I think
you blame it on the higher ups.
I just think you just
the team over at Microsoft Word needed that money, so we undercut.
I just think it's you need to be honest with it. You need to be like kind of more forthcoming with fans and like it's like I haven't seen Phil Spencer say anything. I've seen
notably
Phil
absent.
Spencer. His silence is almost deafening on this one. And I see a lot of people condemning him for this and condemning his him specifically for this is but I don't think it can be put just on his shoulders, and I don't think it is what happens when you're the face of a company and you're the face of an organization. Yeah, it sucks. There's nothing good about the situation. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely rough. I think it hits harder because of Xbox has been pushing this we're for the players kind of messaging, or we're the good guys, we're making choices that are pro players, pro industry, that kind of stuff. And then, they've kind of been caught with, mud on their face. Every single comment they've made in the last 2-3 years being pulled up to be used against them in this situation. I get a feeling Dylan was going to ask, this feels like the final straw for a lot of players. Like we've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm going to cancel my Game Pass," and like you said, there's been a lot of push for maybe Phil Spencer needs to move on. If he can't fulfill his word and like keep all these studios, running, you've bought all these studios, you keep buying studios, and if you can't keep them,
I'm just I'm worried for Ninja Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way this doesn't affect Hellblade 2's release. Like, there's no way that Hellblade, like, kind of doesn't cop backlash because of this. Whether that is financial backlash or, people not playing the game or anything like that. Like,
I mean, the big worry is when they release the game, what are they going to do with Ninja Theory?
Yes.
Do they need to keep Ninja Theory around when they finally get to Hellblade 2?
Once again, on the other hand, you also go, okay, playing devil's advocate, what's been happening in Ninja Theory? Why is Hellblade 2 being such a mess? Like,
or taking so long. Yeah.
Or taking so long with it. Like, why is everything surrounding Hellblade being so messy? There's a lot of questions that still need to be answered.
Yeah. I mean, then you even go to the rest of like the catalog of studios and you're like, who is actually safe? Is anybody safe?
It just furthers and like Sony have had their own problems in the last couple of weeks with the whole Helldivers issues. Mm-hmm. But at least Sony seem to grow and facilitate their first party studios very well and have cultivated some really great studios that develop games for their console. I'm almost at the point where part of me is just like, hey, Microsoft, just call it quits on the Xbox, man. Just
what?
like just I don't know. Like it feels like it almost feels like it's like, okay, just not give up, but Microsoft never seems to want to fully back Xbox. Xbox always seems like the ugly duckling of the Microsoft family that has to kind of prove its existence and fight for itself not to be a detriment to the rest of the company. And part of me is just like, just Microsoft, stop. Just stop. Just returning to PCs. Keep going with your studios to make games for all platforms. But stop trying to be in this console war and stop trying to be in the console business right now.
So you're saying they should just let PlayStation win?
It's not a matter of winning or losing. Like it's just a not anymore.
They should just concede the market.
Yeah.
The console market.
Yeah.
I don't think consoles console numbers is why they cut these studios, but
it isn't. But it's my personal opinion on Microsoft dealing with Xbox as a brand and everything connected to Xbox.
Anyway, Hellblade's out this month, yo.
Well, we just said, what are they going to do with Ninja Theory once Hellblade 2 comes out? Will Hellblade 2 get
if Hellblade 2 doesn't sell enough? Fucking Ninja Theory sitting at the office at the moment going,
I'll tell you what, with the Hellblade 2 thing, so many people have said, I can't believe Hellblade 2 is coming out this month.
Yeah, I feel like it's that thing of like, when a game takes too long to come out and then when it finally does, just everyone's like, I'm over it now.
It's not even...
I feel like it's a little bit of that.
I think it's like... I think if Hellblade 2 had come out as it was projected to normally, like it would have been fine this month, but dropping this 2-3 weeks out from it is so bad for it. There's no way like it gets a fair shake or people actually jump on board with Hellblade when there's at least a decent amount of people in the vocal who are making their opinions on Microsoft kind of
I think it's wild. Like they put I got sent an early access demo and it's the sound design is even better than even before because you'll be roaming down the level fighting some people and the voices in Senua's head will be like, don't cut down our studio. Don't take away our funding.
Oh, you're fucked.
If we're not very good.
Please, Matt Booty, leave us alone. Phil, save us.
Phil, don't take money. Finish the game. They can tell if you don't. For a split second, Kieran's like, man, I didn't know he got a...
I've been checking the emails.
That's wild. I didn't know it happened.
I will say also, Kieran, about all the people, being vocal against Game Pass and that kind of stuff in Microsoft. A lot of them are hypocrites and will end up playing Hellblade anyway. So, I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah. I think Hellblade has enough critical acclaim or reputation, that people will overlook that stuff.
I don't think you need to not play Hellblade. I just think that I think everyone should.
Everyone should unsubscribe to Game Pass and buy Hellblade at full price.
I mean, that would be a.
If you want to see Ninja Theory survive,
if you want to prove a point, then
that if you actually want to prove a point, that's the best way you can prove a point.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Fucking right. Press start writes. A new official GTA 6 page has briefly appeared with a release date and screenshot sections. Kieran over there writes, while we still haven't heard anything official out of the Rockstar camp since the game's debut announcement trailer last year, Grand Theft Auto 6 continues to loom over the game industry like a growing vortex ready to swallow the landscape whole whenever it eventually releases. While we wait to find out exactly when it's going to be, fans are naturally jumping on any minuscule movements or hints from Rockstar in the game out of sheer anticipation. In the past 12 or so hours, folks discovered an update to the Rockstar Games website database that introduced a new page for GTA 6, which included the singular trailer, along with categories for screens, specifications, developer, platform rating, and release date. Of course, no actual information was filled out in these sections, but definitely seems as though somewhere Rockstar was starting to put together a landing page for the game, which will eventually include all of these details. Said page has since been removed. The code can still be seen to verify it once existed, but given the length of time since the initial reveal, and with Rockstar's parent company Take-Two playing an investor call next week on May 16th, it does seem somewhat believable that a release date announcement and more details could land in the very near future. What do you reckon? This is the problem with, obviously, when you're like a publicly traded company, you got to. That's why whenever Nintendo's like the reason Nintendo's like the Switch 2 will get announced before this day, it's because all the information just comes out in their trades anyway. So Take-Two trades next week. Will we see a Grand Theft Auto 6 just release date appear out of nowhere? So just because they can't hide that sort of thing, or what do you reckon? And I mean, it would make sense because, of course, if you were a big stockholder in Take-Two, you would be going, "When's that coming out?"
Also, on top of it, you'd feel like Rockstar, especially after everything that happened with the announcement launch, just wants to get information out there before hackers and leaks happen. Just wants to get it out there. Just put it into the world and go from there. And at least they're the ones that have been able to announce it.
I mean, even if it was just like, hey, the game's coming out November, stay tuned to next month, we'll have something somewhere. And then everyone just assumes it's a Jeff's thing, you know? Do we like, because they did say it's coming out this year?
No, it's early 2025.
Early 2025. Sorry, early 2025. So maybe, I mean, and obviously by early 2025, the bigwigs, the suits are going to want that to be before end of fiscal year 2025, right? So that's prior to March again. So we have to see something soon. What do you reckon? June? Do we see something?
I think we have to see something around the time of Summer Games Fest. It'll almost be interesting if they just did something by themselves and just said,
I absolutely believe they will, you know.
Yeah.
They'll just go, here's a 10-minute demo. Or no, like a 10-minute gameplay video.
They also could have like their own showcase or their own thing where they maybe introduce who the voice actors are for the leads and do kind of a big thing around the world and the setting and stuff.
Bring out that dude who was trying to pay.
Yeah.
Bring out that dude.
Joker dude, yeah.
Joker dude, you know? Yeah. It's like, here, man. Funny here.
You get Lindsay Lohan to present. Get it? Because she sued around the first game. Around 5, yeah.
But I don't think that went anywhere.
No. She lost. But, you know, they make good.
But bring her out. Bring her out anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
They became friends.
Quick shout out to this review that Jacob put up on the website during the week for Little Kitty Big City. Fun. That's fun to say when we say it out loud. Little Kitty Big City, Little Kitty Big City, Little Kitty Big City.
It's on Game Pass, guys.
If you're into that kind of thing.
He reviewed it on PS5, I believe. I think. Hold on. No, PC even. There you go. Gave it a 9.5. Said it was great. Little Kitty Big City is a game I'll be showing my friends' kids. It's accessible, fun, and beautiful. And then you just like it's only like 2 hours to beat, 5-6 hours to 100% if you want. But you're just a cat roaming around, causing trouble, having a good time. So apparently the animation is really good.
So it's Stray without the robots.
Stray without like the seriousness and robots. I think it's just like. Cat. I think this game is just more
Stray without the human genocide.
Having fun. Yeah, that part. I think. So, I want to give this a go. Especially because it's like, it's 2 hours. I'm like, 2 hours. Oof. Make more 2 hour games. Give that shit to me. That's what I need in my life.
You should grab it on Steam and play it on your flight over to Melbourne.
No, because if anything, I got like Hades, man. What are you talking about?
That's true. That's true.
True. I could download it as well. Well, I was going to say before we wrap up, the only other thing I briefly played a little bit of that I want to touch on this week was what's the game called now? Hold on. I was playing it yesterday for a little bit on the couch. Katamon Hyper Auto Battlers.
Oh, okay.
That one where it's like they're Pokemon, but not. But it's an auto battler game. It's pretty fun. Like you just like if you've ever played an auto battler, it's you have a random card. They're all cards basically, and then they got different abilities, and grass beats water beats fire, etc., go down that road of sort of stuff, and then you just travel up a stage, and they level up, and you get items, and it's auto battler. The strategy is the pre-battle. Have you got the right ones? The abilities will sync up. Like this one will be like this. Heal the person in front of you if they do this, and then if someone gets poisoned, then do extra damage. Like I don't know. I'm sure Ash probably knows what I'm talking about. He's played more auto battlers. I don't think. Yeah. So that's pretty fun. I like the character designs and everything like that, and obviously, it was cool. The only thing I'll say about it is playing it on the ROG deck, right? It is not certified, which means that and it is in early access, so whatever. I'll give them a break for now. But that means I have to use the right analog stick as a mouse, which is sort of fine for a game like this because you're sort of you're just dragging like cards, like you're dragging and dropping shit. But I was still like, fuck's sake, like this game get this shit certified. But yeah, decent start again since it's early access. But I if I was like doing an early access review for it, I'd be saying hold off for a little bit. At the moment, pretty like a lot of character designs and the core basics are there, but it's still got a little bit. I think it needs to go add until I'd recommend jumping in. Anyone else got anything to play that they want to talk about before we wrap up for this week?
No, just a really small story I just saw, which links it to Phil being evil. I don't know if you guys saw his Phil Spencer's Fallout 76 base.
Oh, the Fallout thing
got nuked. Apparently, it's just popped up that he has done the achievement that is like the story achievement pop for him being able to shoot nukes at other players. So that is just popped for Phil. So obviously he is
retaliating.
He is retaliating in Fallout 76, and he's going on the offensive.
I feel like Phil might want to speak to a PR person
before he starts nuking players' towns.
Yeah. I feel like he might want to seek advice. That's what I would say. I don't know if they're angry at me, let them nuke them is a...
Hey, they nuked him first,
And yet some would say he deserved to be nuked, Damn. Anyway, thanks for joining us on Arcade Couch this week. Let us know your thoughts on Xbox, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, I don't know. Big Kitty Little City, Nintendo Switch release date, GTA 6. What else have I talked about? That was about it. Do that. Our Twitter, explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. Takes you to our X page. Makes sense. explosionnetwork.com/Discord takes you to our Discord page. If you want to support us, you can do that on our Ko-fi page. You can donate as little as $1 over there. explosionnetwork.com/support. And until next week, same time, same channel. Goodbye.